Fear is a strong emotion that has the potential to rule a person's life. If your life depended on it, would you risk it all and face your deepest fears, or would you hire someone to do it for you? Leon understood this logic very well, yet is caught up in a dilemma about his answer. In the first chapter, the main protagonist Leon is caught up in a maze of some sort and is trying to get home or just wake up from a horrible nightmare. He keeps running from the darkness till he keeps a stance, awaiting the shadows to reveal what it hovered, and just then, he wakes up from the nightmare. While Leon gets ready for his day-to-day activities, he accounts for how long the nightmares had been happening. He explains that each time, he was always in a different body, being chased by a monster he had never seen. It is revealed that Leon has an aura for sensing emotions and hearing sounds with colors. In class, while his teacher gives a lecture, she emits a radiant yellow which he describes as warm and soothing. Her voice is so relaxing that it puts him to sleep in an instant. But he sleeps too deep and ends up in one of his nightmares. Leon is in shambles, distraught that he barely closed his eyes for a second and was plunged into a dream world of despair. He is jolted back to reality by the voice of his teacher, who reprimands him for always sleeping during lectures. Hoping Leon would improve if he was in a class with a teacher he wasn't familiar with, she results in changing Leon from her class. She also does this to keep her promise to Leon's mom to care for him in her absence. Leon groans on his way to work about his predicament when he runs into a distressed little boy. Leon takes the responsibility of bringing the boy to his home but is unaware his house is located across town. His act of generosity lands him in trouble with his boss and late for his deliveries. On his way to drop off the next package, a power bike with an unknown rider zooms past him. Fate has it that both men's location leads them to the same building. Inside, Leon takes the elevator to the 5th floor, and when the elevator door dings, his stature is overcome with shock when the door opens to the hallway. What a girl. Real men face their fears. He recalls seeing the hallway in one of his dreams and wonders if he fell asleep again or if it's another prank. He walks through the dark hallway searching for the recipient of his package. When he is unable to find her, he assumes she went downstairs after the power outage. His assumptions are soon pushed to false when he hears a woman's scream. Leon hides behind a shelf to observe the situation. He is astonished and terrified. His figure trembles while he watches everything from his dream play out in reality. He pinched and bit himself, anything that would make him awaken from another nightmare, only to find out this wasn't one of his dreams. This was reality. Leon senses the ominous presence lurking in the dark, and when it gets closer, he picks the woman up and sprints with her towards the exit. If you were in Leon's shoes, would you save this lady? Because, Leon is kind of a wimp. Attempting to save this lady, I don't think that's a good idea. So while they run, the woman misses her step and falls to the floor. The ominous presence is about to strike her when Leon blocks and takes the shot, leaving him fatally injured. He lies weakly on the floor, ordering the woman to escape. Just when he is about to pass out, a new presence makes an appearance. Two unknown guys, including the rider, now wearing a kitsune mask, survey Leon's body and find his wallet. They wonder how Leon got to the 5th floor despite the veil set up to prevent outside activity. Ultimately, Harvey carries Leon along with them while Paris takes down the veil. Leon awakens in a dark room, wondering why he was alive or in another dream. This is like one of those scenes where the protagonist gets shot. He obviously sees people before he passes out and then acts shocked that he made it out alive. Yeah, been there, done that. Let's get on with the recap. Leon finds himself tied to a chair while Harvey and Paris watch him regain consciousness. Harvey warns Leon not to move so much so the ropes don't expose his wounds that hadn't healed fully. Harvey asks Leon 3 questions about his identity, and Leon tells him that everything he needed to know was in his wallet. After a pause, Paris reveals that Harvey spoke with a language known as the Dead Language, and the only people who understood the Dead Language are agents of the Catharsis organization and the monsters they hunt. The question on the table right now was who Leon Mori was. Not gonna lie, I'm dying to know how this story turns out. Leon's dreams have basically turned this whole story to a game changer. I'm super excited. Leon, who considers himself a mere unlucky high school kid, denies the allegations before him. Paris, who doesn't buy Leon's story, unsheathes his sword and points it at Leon. Paris is about to kill Leon when Harvey stops his sword from swinging. Harvey gives reasons to trust Leon's story, who was whimpering and begging for mercy. Paris lets Leon off the hook but promises to keep an eye on him. While Harvey unties Leon's ropes, he gives details about the Catharsis organization. The Catharsis organization is involved with the eradication of Timorum, monsters he witnessed. When Leon is free, he asks to be taken back home. wanting to forget everything. Harvey tells him that he is in fact home and a veil has been set in the room so nothing goes in or out, just like in the office when he couldn't leave the 5th floor. Harvey also speaks about the phenomenon of the Timorum, the monsters that exist outside the veil unless trapped in it. Leon trembles to the floor when he sees the face of a Timorum, and Harvey explains that the Timorum is a materialization of people's fear, feeding off from people's torment. Harvey can discern that the Timorum is not a product of Leon's fear, but found interest in him. Considering the fact that Leon has been a scared little boy from the beginning of this recap, this is hilarious. The boy's been fighting his demons and now other guys' demons are interested in him. That's crazy, man. Harvey and Paris set out to leave but warn Leon that the possibility of a Timorum killing or absorbing its host's body is very high. Therefore, the need to kill them still stands. Harvey gives Leon a blank card and promises to watch Leon from the side. Harvey also gives him a warning that if his actions cause suspicious activity, he will not hesitate to kill him. The veil is broken and the duo disappears along with the darkness that leaves Leon drenched in his blood and unconscious to the floor. When Leon regains consciousness, he senses a yellow energy, one he describes as soothing, and a green energy he thinks is Harvey. His teacher Ami is by his side, who had watched for 4 days till he regained consciousness. While Ami hugs him in the joy that he returned alive, he sees a Timorum lurking by the window and wonders how he sees them even in daylight. A doctor and nurse walk in for Leon's routine check and Leon is surprised at how bright the doctor's aura is. He also notices the nurse's aura is quite familiar but can't put his finger on where they met. After his routine checkup is over, Ami seeks a heart-to-heart talk with Leon as his caretaker. She asks Leon the truth about how he got badly injured and the other mysterious events that led to him losing his job. Leon's thoughts bounce around all the possibilities that led to his current predicament, and he decides it's better to not drag Ami into it. She was such a sweet soul that he'd rather not hurt her. That evening, a Timorum lurks around the window, requesting entrance. Leon ignores it initially until it becomes violent, nearly breaking the window slides. Leon, unable to bear the consistent noise, rushes down the bed. In an attempt to open the door, the knob flares up, like the other time when a veil was placed in the office and his apartment. Just when he's about to freak out, the nurse knocks from the other side and enters. The nurse is revealed to be Harvey, confirming Leon's suspicion. Harvey invites Paris in to exorcise the monster. Ultimately, he casts a spell that would render the monster invisible and powerless. Harvey instructs Leon to rest after the monster was restrained. Deep down he knows Paris has a point and that Leon would have to toughen up. Leon asks Harvey why the Timorum is after him despite not being the product of his fear. It is then that Harvey reveals to him that it's possible the Timorum finds him interesting because he wants to feed on him. This revelation doesn't sit well with Leon and also has Harvey wondering why Leon. Imagine being so unlucky that monsters find you attractive. There's got to be some sort of redemption for our guy. Leon returns home the next day and cleans his house of the bloodstains and footprints from the authorities that came to investigate. It's been a week of one crazy event after the other, and Leon recalls how much his life had changed from being an ordinary student to becoming hunted by monsters and monster hunters. Leon is lost in thoughts until he is hit from behind by Ami, who has been trying to get his attention. He helps Ami carry her books and walks her to her desk. On the way, she tells Leon she'd been having strange nightmares where she ate people. Leon, knowing well that he had a lot on his plate, is unflinched by the story. Before Leon exits, she offers to tutor Leon on the courses he missed while he was in the hospital. Later in class, Ami and Harvey's words play in Leon's head and he discerns that Ami's dream aligning with the time frame of the recent events is no coincidence. Just then, his mind is shifted, like his being was sucked into a dream of some sort. In it, Leon watches the monster that lurked by his window swallow a human. But something was different about the scene this time around. It was Ami's presence. Leon, feeling guilty for bringing Ami into one of his nightmares, sprints with her to get away from the monster. Suddenly, Ami holds back and when Leon turns, Ami begins to transform. Leon is distraught at the sight of it, and just when he is about to call for Harvey and Paris, he is jolted awake by his teacher. He is given a punishment of detention after school, which makes him go home late hours. While he walks home, he senses an ominous presence behind him but looks back and finds nothing. He walks steadily while holding on to Harvey's promise to protect him. Just then, he hears a scream from a tunnel, the same location where he met that kid, Julian. When he tries to call the police for help, he gets no signal. He is caught in a dilemma whether to help or not. Ultimately, he is pushed into a tunnel by an invisible force against his wish. Inside the tunnel is dark and Leon has lost direction to the entrance. Suddenly, he hears footsteps running towards him and they turn out to belong to Julian. The plot twist here is that Julian's footsteps aren't the only footsteps in the tunnel. A monster lurks within the shadows. How does Leon escape this without Harvey and Paris present, also considering the fact his stitches haven't completely healed from the previous attack? I wonder. That brings us to the end of Catharsis Part 1. Thank you for watching. If you would like Part 2, then please comment down below. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get our channel's posts as soon as they get published.